Aloha, this is Rollin Frost, an astrologer living in Kailua, Kona, on the Kona coast of the Big Island. Aloha to the world. Lucky I live in Hawaii. Whew. You're about to see program 913 in the series Astrology, Ancient Science in the Modern World. And we're going to start the show right off with the sky mirror, so I don't get all involved with my own stuff. Later, after the sky mirror, we're going to do some a look over on hurricane possibilities in Hawaii. But I don't want to short you on the sky mirror. It's most important. So we're going to look through here and see what's going on for you in the next 10 days. And if you're reading this, you can see right away, yep, Neptune is going to make some trouble. And you could have trouble with some interesting things, some confusing things too. There could be some bad smells around at the very least. The fresh air of the forest. A kind viewer in South Carolina sent me a bag of copal, which is a tree incense the Mayans burn at religious ceremonies, and you burn it just like regular incense. And oh, what a wonderful smell. So your sense of smell is a little out of kilter and exaggerated, and when you have a bad smell, you may not be able to get rid of it as easy as usual. If you cover it up with incense, it's still there. Know this for the next month. If there's a smell in the air, it's actually little molecules entering your nose. You cover it up, they're still there. The other thing is your nose cycles out all smells every minute or so. So if you're sitting in a bad stinky place because you're in bad chemicals or bad molecules, in a minute or so you won't smell it anymore. Your nose is a defensive mechanism. It's set up to smell new smells in a defense. So you can only count on your nose for short-term memories. Did I say memories? Smell is very hooked up to memories. I mean, if I get a whiff of that perfume, my very first girlfriend, Lonnie, in East Oakland, wore, oh, it takes me right back there. So odors are linked to your memories. They are, but you know, what's all these things? Booze, you know, that's Neptune. Anything that puts you off in your imagination. Oil and gas and LNG and all these derivatives that are long chain molecules are all Neptune. Liquids in general are Neptune, and you could have leaks, you could spill things. If Neptune's hitting your chart bad, and Neptune's at 7 degrees of Pisces, well, you know, you're going to spill things. And then you say to yourself, oh, I'm in danger from Neptune. Maybe I shouldn't go swim. Maybe I shouldn't eat this fish. It smells a little funny. Chemicals, flooding, you know, can happen kind of easily during this time. And it's all because of the new moon at 7 degrees of Gemini that squared Neptune. Here we had such a great month for Neptune before that new moon. Yep, May actually gave us some hope with a new moon in harmony with Neptune, that we could save the oceans and the fisheries and stop the chemical pollution of our food, our water. So if you lose a little faith, you know, during the month of June, don't worry, it's just a new moon, huh? And you'll regain it again in July. What's coming up for you in the next 10 days? First, here's a note. Mercury goes retrograde on June 7th. It's going retrograde at 3 degrees of Cancer, and it trines Neptune, so it'll help the smells out a little bit. Listen to the kids. But, you know, after it goes retrograde, 3 weeks after June 7th, you know, it's good for doing things you already started. Clean out your old stuff. You know, if you want to go someplace twice, it's a good time to do it. About half of the short trips and communications you do will have to be done twice. Sometimes if I don't want to go back to the store after Mercury goes retrograde for the next 3 weeks, when I walk out to go someplace, I'm going to the store, I stop on the porch, I go back in the house and go shishi, and I go leave again, so I've left twice. Or if it's an important telephone call, I'll call somebody up, buzz it once, hang up, and then punch redial, and I've called twice. So Mercury has to go back and revisit the places, sometimes during this period. So it's, you wouldn't want to sign a contract that you only want to sign once and be done with during this 3-week period after June 7th. Mercury retrograde, huh? Anyway, it's next Saturday for you, not the coming one, but 10 days from you, roughly. And trining Neptune, it's good for religion, art, music. And when Mercury stops, there could be song. Neptune is important because Neptune is stationing on June 9th. Closer you get to that, the stronger are the smells. Also, if it's hitting your chart good, the stronger is the words of Jesus, the stronger is Bach and Beethoven and color and music. Remember John Lennon and his song Imagine? For me, of course, I'm a child of Woodstock. I was born a few months off of Lennon. But for me, that's Neptune. Imagine. There was no countries. Imagine there were no armies. Imagining things is Neptune land. So are dreams, inspirations. Neptune will make it all foggy and you won't be able to see. And then open up. It's clear. Wow. Well, looking at the big picture, the planetary setup is still pretty tense. We've got a Grand Cross still. It's a little bit out of focus, but Uranus is still 2 degrees off squaring Pluto. Yeah, there'll be sudden little panics and feelings of aloneness. Jupiter is still squaring them, but it's moving off, and it's trining Saturn. So there's some good sense and some practical awareness someplace. Mars is the culprit. Mars is slowed down and stopped. You remember, not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, Mars stopped at 9. Squaring Pluto, opposing Uranus. Violence, heat, fires. Angry, impatient, turning into the god of war. Ask yourself what you're protecting. If you answer the question, you may have to ask the question several times. What am I protecting? What am I protecting? Once discovered, the anger will be gone and there'll be physical work to be done. Angry that they abducted all those girls? Well, Venus, at the end of your next week, is trining Pluto, and there should be some relief there. Mars and Venus. Thing is, here's Mercury. Mercury is stopping at 3 degrees of Cancer. It's kind of within orb of squaring Mars. Angry words. So Mercury is kind of making the Grand Cross energized a bit again, where we all get stuck. So the sun's in Gemini, and it's going from 9 to 19 degrees. It really doesn't like what's going on in Congress at the end of your next week. No. But it likes Mars. It's into sports, it's into the heroes, it's into the military probably. The heroes that are fighting all the fires in Southern California, that's the real Mars. Those are the real heroes. Not the military so much that goes off and hurts people. You might remember that as this month goes on. You just had your new moon. See, if you're on the Thursday show, you're right here. New moon was yesterday and Wednesday. And it's a busy one. New moon in Gemini, trining Mars. Oh boy, let's get out and fix stuff. Squares Neptune, though. So there, you might have to put up with some bad smells. And don't go off in inspiration. You want to get solid physical stuff done. If you're inspired, well, yeah, you could be on thin ice. What's happening is the moon's going around here once a month. And as it goes through each day, it makes angles to these planets, which I mark in blue and red. You see, all of astrology is built on these angles. The harmonious ones that produce relaxation and ease are the blue lines, 60 degrees and 120. They're all multiples of 30. The tough ones are the oppositions, where these guys will fight 180 degrees, or squares 90 degrees, obstacles. The red lines produce tension and energy. The blue lines promote relaxation and ease. And all of astrology is built on recognizing these angles, 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. It's kind of simple. Those are the zodiac signs every 30 degrees. That's why the zodiac signs are there, so you can recognize squares and trines. Okay, let's see what happens day by day. We're going to run the moon around the edge. Here's Mercury. Mercury's getting slowed down, so your mind and the winds are becoming important. Friday morning, moon goes by Mercury, and it's not retrograde yet. Good time to go do the errands, carry things around, communicate. Excellent time. As Friday goes along, there's inspiration here. There's a nice trine to Neptune. There could be song and dance and poetry and wonderful things here on Friday till you get to late Friday night, because there's the square to Mars. And irritation comes up. This is about 10 o'clock for most people. Now, if you're angry and irritated Friday night late or early Saturday morning, it's increasingly hard to control. Pluto is control. The opposition to Pluto happens Saturday morning. Eek a bug, panicky, control, territory issues. It gets downright strange, and there's glitches just around before lunch, middle of the day with a square to Uranus. This is the old Grand Cross. We watched it for months, and Sunday it moves back now into Saturday. So you won't get too much done Saturday, but there'll be a lot of energy. Don't irritate people, you'll get by. Saturday night now, dinner time and in the evening, the moon goes by Jupiter. And there could be quite a nice time. There could be flashes of insight. There could be all sorts of truth and wisdom comes out, natural knowing, common sense with the trine to Saturn through Saturday night and into early Sunday morning. So this is kind of a settling period here with the moon in Cancer Friday and Saturday. Moon's in Cancer until Sunday afternoon. And when it shifts into Leo Sunday afternoon, there's a square to Venus. And there's no satisfaction and no pleasure. And things are hard to... you're out of your comfort zone. There's no sugar Sunday afternoon. No rest. Might as well get something done. Because Monday morning here, moon still is in Leo. There's a nice sextile to Mars. And Mars says, get out and fix things, huh? Go do it. It's a good time for it. There's a nice sextile to the Sun Monday night, and your plans are coming together beautifully. Late Monday night around midnight, there's a trine to Uranus. Technical things are going well. Yeah. So Monday's a good time to really get things done. And, you might as well do it, because on Tuesday, June 3rd, the day starts with a nasty square to Saturn, and we're bogged down and we're delayed. So Saturn usually means time or money problems. Slow down, take it easy, plan everything twice. You'll get through Tuesday. Wednesday, early in the morning, the moon's still in Leo, but once it shifts into Virgo, about breakfast time here, wow, there's a nice sextile to Mercury. Things get moving, and there's enjoyment around. Wednesday afternoon and evening, here's a trine to Venus. Kids are happy. There's, this is quite a good time here on Wednesday, June 4th. Enjoy it. Look out, don't get too seduced, though, in the comfort zone around dinner time, because afterwards, here's the moon opposing Neptune. Oops, where is it? So the Neptune, there's a little red tick there, see? Now that's about 2:10, about 9 o'clock or so, 8, 9 o'clock, the moon opposes Neptune. There's the bad smells. There's the water leaks. Go investigate them. If you smell something, you're only going to smell it for a minute or so. Go investigate then. Is that gasoline? Is that propane? Go find out what the smell is. Your nose is only good to investigate for a couple minutes. You can go outside, refresh your nose, go to a different place where the air is clean, and kind of refresh the instrument and go back and smell again. Think about it. If you're in the bathroom making a big stink, you're not in there very long and you don't smell it at all. Okay, so Wednesday, moon's in Virgo. Everybody's being picky about it, and those bad smells are really irritating Wednesday night. Thursday morning on the 5th, can't get much done. There's investigation. Happens really early. Get up at breakfast time. Go investigate. Investigate those bad smells. Yeah, but you're not going to fix them because the moon squares the sun in the middle of Thursday in the afternoon. You'll make a really good plan here late Thursday. The moon sextiles Saturn. Solid money, solid time and budget. And, that's before dinner, maybe around dinner time. And then late, 9-10 o'clock, it sextiles Jupiter. First contract it, then expand it. The plan is solid. Thursday night worked out pretty well, didn't it? Well, Friday the 6th is a mixed bag. Starts off with that nice solid feeling from the Jupiter-Saturn sextiles late Thursday night. So pretty much all the way through the afternoon of Friday, there's a nice solid responsible feeling while the moon's still in Virgo. Then the moon shifts into Libra right here. It's about 4 o'clock or so on Friday, and the vibes get different because here's right away a square to Mercury. Now you remember Mercury stopped and went retrograde on the 7th. That's Saturday. And here Friday night we have the moon squaring it. So this means trouble with Mercury. Trouble. Where's the kids? The wind, the things you say, all of it, all the communication, transportation stuff. Mercury, Hermes, the messenger of the gods. It took things from here to there. If you know what Mercury's like is your wallet, which carries things from here to there, or your purse, or your car. All those things carry things around. That's the job of Mercury, huh? So, trouble Friday night with it all. If you can't communicate, you're having trouble getting around, you're dealing with that Mercury square. And it could make you impatient and angry by the time you get to Saturday, because there's the Mars hit. The moon goes by there in the middle of the day, huh? And it's getting more and more hot and more energized and more aggressive. And this is not an easy Saturday, folks. Normally I would say when Mercury stops, which it does on the 7th to reverse direction, you get really smart about words, which are just Mercury's. They're symbols of things, letters, numbers. Your mind cools off, the wind slows down, the wind in your mind slows down, and things are easier to understand. But on this Mercury station, we got Mars all up in everybody's face. And so from the time of irritation Friday night, you could be getting more and more impatient and angry as you go into Saturday the 7th. Now I start these days here because on the West Coast it's midnight. In Hawaii these lines are 2 a.m. in the morning. So this is in the middle of the day here in the afternoon when the moon goes by Mars, and everybody gets all energized, and we're interested in sports and the young guys, and you also have a chance of getting things done. There's a trine to the sun. So this is, if you're in the good Mars, you're fixing things. No anger. The fireman is your perfect Mars, and your EMT, imagine them getting off the fire engine and getting pissed off. No, they won't. So if you're irritated, ask yourself what you're protecting on Saturday, June 7th. Otherwise, it could get worse, because here around dinner time, here's a square to Pluto, and there's no control, and things go to extremes. And this could be real tough on the fire lines in Southern California. And here, then it goes into the evening after dinner. Here's the opposition to Uranus, and you got trouble with electricity and the media and wind. So this could be a very windy, very fiery day, and not an easy one. And if you're driving, slow down. This is a little too much energy, a little too many obstacles. So if you're going to do repair work here, watch out for the sharps and the hots, and there could be little accidents and things around what you're doing. If you're starting to have little owies, back off. Just wait. Don't do that work then, because Saturdays feels like working, but it's full of obstacles Saturday night, and you could be going into emergency because of what you did here in anger or impatience. So it doesn't clear up till you get to about 1 o'clock in the morning, and finally there's a trine to the sun, and you say, well, I got the job done after all. But Sunday morning, here's a square to Jupiter on the 8th, and it looks like we're overdoing it, and we bit off more than we could chew again. So don't overdo it. Don't laugh too much. People won't like that Sunday morning, huh? There is a nice conjunction to the North Node. Sunday afternoon and around dinner time here, moon goes by, the North Node, we're kind of taking care of people again. Feels sort of nurturing. Boy, we deserve it after Saturday. On your Monday, on the 9th, there is a nice trine to Mercury. You can get off to work and get a few things done. Still, it is retrograde. You might leave twice when you go to work Monday morning. See if that works for you. Works for me. Giant sequoia. It's a card from a young man I did a personal chart reading for, and he said, you have an amazing talent. Thank you. And it brought me to a higher understanding to myself and the path of this lifetime. Thank you, Rollin. Much aloha. It's nice. I love trees. I think they're more conscious than we know, these trees. By the way, you want to learn more? Here's Sky Mirror, skymirrorastrology.com. Get you the app, and you can watch just the sky mirrors on the app site. If you put a /TV on the end, you get my website with the turtle looking up at the planets, and you can view the whole show, the last 4 or 5 shows or more, and learn more about my services. skymirrorastrology.com. Okay, long-term predictions, huh? Before I went through the first 6 months of 2014, and yesterday, which was the 14th of May for me, I heard him say, oh, it's an El Nino year. The tropical water will be heating up more, and he decided to go hurricane hunting to see how Hawaii was looking. So I wound up with a whole bunch of lunations, and I won't bore you with all the math and all that stuff, but here's some of the results. Let's try and go over them here. First, there's a lunation on September 15th. It's a minor one, but the Jupiter opposition in Hawaii says we're going to have rain and thunderstorms, particularly over on the Hilo side, okay? And this is just after the middle of September. But, rain and thunderstorms doesn't mean hurricanes, does it? No. Now, there's another lunation, a full moon. It happens on the 8th of October. This one is a full moon on Uranus. And in Hawaii, it's cadent, but October 8th says other parts of the world, we could have a month of hurricanes and stuff and shakings from this October 8th into the middle of November. But it's not so much in Hawaii, okay? On October 15th, we have a lunation where Neptune is on the IC, on the bottom of the chart. And this is your home, the bottom, the IC we call it. It's in Latin. And it's particular to the Big Island, which tells me that we have water problems. And when I looked at little charts along the side, it appears to be a little stronger on the Hilo side. Water problems in our homes. Now this Neptune on the IC can be, the fear of tsunamis from stuff going on elsewhere, but I suspect, even hurricanes that pass far off can sometimes bring a lot of rain in. Now, this is just plain one of those storms that hits and Hilo gets a lot of rain. It happens quite often, starting around October 15th. These things usually go for about a month afterwards. Finally, I got to a full moon on December 6th. Wow, this is a biggie. Now, the technical side of this full moon shows Uranus on the descendant, opposite the rising sign, Pluto on the bottom of the chart. And I got sucked into this before and said, whoa, because this could be your neighbors or other people having hurricanes or earthquakes, or it could be us here having fear of them because Uranus is on the descendant. You don't like Uranus. High winds, and some Pluto control of the home is the issue. Now this turns out to be a month of stuff and probably looks to me, I looked at Kona and Honolulu and Lahui and the Western Islands, Kauai and Honolulu seem to take this a little bit harder, because of this. Uranus stations on December 21st. So this looks like a Christmas time big blow to me. And I'm not going to get sucked into hurricane fears just yet, because twice now I've said, look, there could be hurricane stuff here, and what happened was it was people on both sides of us. I tend to warn you, because I'm a safety engineer, even at lower levels of risk. There's a lot of risk in this thing, and I got to do more work to find out where the quakes are. But Uranus was back in the same position in April 3rd, and back in June, middle of July last year. Wherever those quakes were then, we're probably going to have more quakes here on Christmas time, because Uranus has about a 1.5 year cycle. So where the quakes were in the middle of July, we're probably going to see some more here at Christmas time in the same areas. So first warning, full moon December 6th, Uranus station December 21st, focused on Hawaii a bit, but it's in the Western Islands more. And we'll get into much more as time goes on. Benjamin Franklin was quite a decent astrologer and did weather predictions in Poor Richard's Almanac. Yep, he was an astrologer. Thanks for tuning in. Come back next week. Aloha.